Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. So today, a couple of stories I want to talk to you about involve Bitcoin, Cardano, and something new, something different, Rivian. So if we look at the screen here, so we got green and go for Cardano for the hard fork coming up for Alonzo. We got institutional investors not slowing down. We got U.S. banking giant Morgan Stanley is buying Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. We got crypto analyst calls for Ethereum to climb to possibly 10,000, and then we have obviously the Rivian IPO that might be coming up here in the coming weeks, months, possibly towards the end of this year or early next year. But first, why don't we jump into the charts and then take a look and see what's going on there. So Bitcoin right now it's trading flat right now. I mean, you can see here on the line, if we draw the line, where's my little tool here? We're kind of like in this line here of trading at around 49,000 and then down here between, draw another line here. We're kind of stuck in this kind of pattern here between 49 and 46,000 roughly, and just bouncing back and forth on the daily chart. So we'll have to see if we have a clear breakout above this line, or if we fall back down below this line, which then we could come back and test the 50-day moving average. So something to keep an eye out. RSI is looking good. It's not bad. We're not seeing any patterns here that would give us a reversal pattern or anything like that on the price action. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's get rid of that and get rid of that. Dogecoin, same, not really the same thing. Dogecoin on the daily chart keeps testing the 50-day moving average, and it has bounced. But the more times we test it, the more probability there is that we're going to fall below it. So we got to keep an eye on it. RSI is looking good as well, and Doge is at almost 28 cents right now, 27 cents on a daily chart. Let's take a look at Stellar. Stellar is testing the 200-day moving chart, or 200-day moving line. And like I said with Dogecoin, if it tests it too many times, it may fall below it. So definitely something we want to pay attention to. And Stellar right now is at 33.9, so almost 34 cents. Everything's kind of down from just a couple of days ago, almost 2 weeks ago. So Litecoin, same thing, is testing the 200-day as well. We're seeing another drop down here. So not sure where the market wants to go right now. It doesn't look like it wants to go up, and doesn't look like it wants to go down. It's just flat right now. No clear direction where it's going. Sia coin is at 2 cents. If anybody owns Sia coin, I own a little bit of that. Cardano is still, I mean, it's still bouncing between these 2 points here. There we go. So here's the trend lines for it. It seems like it wants to be between those. So we're at between $2.54 and $2.96 roughly. We're in this kind of trading pattern here. So depending where we go, whether we break above this line or break below that line, the 254 line, we'll know which direction we're going to be heading in, because right now we're just trading flat. I think it's just a period of accumulation possibly. Ethereum is at $3,181, and it is similar to Cardano. It's just trading flat right now. There's not much going on. We have the lines here at $33,000 or $3,337, and then we have the other bottom line here, which seems to be right around here. And we've been pretty much trading flat between those 2 lines. So still no clear direction on Ethereum as well. We've got a story on Ethereum and Cardano as well. Let's take a quick look at the mining stocks here. Well, yesterday I posted a video on HUT8 miner count and potential profits and potential stock price for it by the end of the year if things pan out. So if you want to take a look at that video, that's in the deep dive videos. So right now, Hive is at 314 pre-market, so it's up 2 cents in the pre-market. Marathon is up, or it's actually down 41 cents in the pre-market. Bitfarms is up 5 cents in the pre-market to 598. Riot is currently up 31 cents in the pre-market to 38.88, and HUT8 is up 8 cents to 7.82 in the pre-market. So we'll keep an eye on those, and then we'll also have Coinbase. Coinbase is right now up 38 cents in the pre-market. I own 3 shares of Coinbase. Not a huge position, but I wanted to get into it while it was still low. Not low, but when it came out. I use Coinbase a lot, so not an advertisement for them. I just use them. All right, so let's get into the stories here. Actually, let's get into market cap, see how the market cap has changed, if at all. Let me see. Market cap is down $2.148 trillion compared to, it was almost $2.2 trillion earlier, late last week. Bitcoin obviously still number one, Ethereum number two, Cardano number three. Let me see if there's any big changes in market cap. Yeah, so Cardano is still looking like it's pulling away from Binance Coin. It's at 90 billion compared to 73 billion for Binance Coin. Solana is still looking good. It's getting really expensive though. It's $100.78. Thinking about buying Solana, but not at that price. I think I'm gonna have to wait for a little pullback here before I dive into that one a little bit. What else we got here? Doge is the number 7, and then Polkadot is at number 10. So Solana obviously is doing great. It's up 37, almost 38% in the week, in the 7 days. Everything else pretty much down except for Cardano is up 5.8. Binance Coin is up 6.3, and then everything else is just down. All right. So the market right now is without direction. We'll keep you guys posted if anything changes on that. So let's take a look at Hoskinson. Green and Go update on Cardano Alonzo hard fork. Let's again zoom this in so you guys can see a little better. All right. So everything is green and go. We're on schedule according to founder and CEO Charles Hoskinson. In the latest vlog, he shared quick updates with the community about the upcoming Alonzo hard fork as the network approaches the launch of smart contracts. Hoskinson noted that the team was already preparing for the public Alonzo testnet hard fork. The final testnet launch is due on September 1st, and Hoskinson noted that the rollout was going to take place on the primary testnet, not Alonzo Purple, that was launched earlier this month, he stated. So here's a quote from him. The testnet will be in the Alonzo stage. This is not one of those specialty testnet like Purple and all these other testnets. This is the primary testnet that we use for exchanges and all other people and other things. So that's good. That's great to hear. That's going to make it a lot easier to move over. Let's see here. However, he also mentioned that although the team had come a long way, there was much more work left to be done. The team was working over the weekend to make sure everything was in line with the latest version of DB Sync. The CEO added that once the rollover on Alonzo's testnet is completed, it will remain there until the update proposal was done on the 9th of September. The team had earlier shared the date for the smart contracts launch on Cardano as the 12th of September. After Hoskinson updated on how things look, the team might be able to make the deadline. Recently, IOHK shared about submitting an upgrade proposal to the Cardano testnet to hard fork the chain into Alonzo era, calling it a major milestone for the platform. The project manager at IOHK, Demetrius Demetrius P, noted that until 12th September, the team will be identifying and fixing bugs to ensure the network stability. As the Cardano team prepared for the much-awaited updates, the 88 token was now rallying at 290 with almost 12% gains over the past week. So this is good. We're getting close. We're about 2 weeks away now, looks like, from the Alonzo upgrade. There's a lot of interest, obviously, in it, not only by investors, but also by companies looking to get on the smart contracts part of it, of Cardano. So I think the price is just getting started. I think 3 is definitely obtainable. I think we may go up to 5, 7 within a couple months here, if all things go well. Okay, next. Institutional investors not slowing down on Bitcoin. Here's how much they own. So Bitcoin investment institutions, Bitcoin investment by institutions is now a common occurrence. This was not so in the previous years. Institutional investors have been investing in crypto for a while, but mostly at a conversion rate. 2020 changed all that. The bull that started in 2020 saw more institutional money coming into the market, predictions pointing towards continuous growth, and institutions did not want to be left out of the action. Every year we're seeing more and more institutions obviously buying in as the Bitcoin price grows. We do have a lot of volatility in Bitcoin, obviously. It goes up a lot and it can come down way a lot. So something to always be mindful of, but we're always going forward. Funds like Grayscale Bitcoin Trust started upping their stake in cryptocurrencies at this point. MicroStrategy was buying up Bitcoins at an alarming rate. With the CEO bullish on Bitcoin, this was no surprise, as Saylor himself has admitted to having a personal stake in the digital asset. With institutional interest rising, it is important at this point to know how many institutional investors own Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was nearing 10% of total supply. Data shows that institutional investors now own almost 8% of the total supply of Bitcoin. The top hodlers now have hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins in their care, while others are catching up. The cumulative total from Bitcoin treasuries puts the total BTC held by institutional investors at more than 1.6 million Bitcoin currently, accounting for a total of 7.91% of the current BTC supply. That's a lot. That's huge. That's great news. As long as they buy and hold, they don't sell, that puts obviously less supply in the market, more demand, price is going to go up. The total cost basis that these assets were bought at shows institutional investors are currently in the green. Bitcoin Treasuries data put the total cost basis at 53.9 billion, while the value of the BTC held by the institutional investors is currently at 77.8 billion, meaning that institutional investors are turning a profit from their investment. The data also shows that while some institutional investors are negative, the majority of the institutional investors have turned a profit, with some making as much as 97x of their initial investment in the asset. Institutions invested in Bitcoin. A total of 61 institutional investors were compiled that have invested in Bitcoin. Some institutional investors had only invested in as low as 2 Bitcoins, while others have invested in hundreds of thousands. Of all the institutional investors, Grayscale led the charge with a whopping 654,855 Bitcoins currently held by the trust. That's a lot. Its BTC holdings make up 118% of the total market cap of the trust. MicroStrategy, a subsidiary of MicroStrategy under which Bitcoins are purchased, currently holds 108,991 with a cost basis of 2.9 billion and a current value of 5.1 billion, showing the company has already made over 100% gains on the initial investment. So it's a lot of coins. A lot of coins are being held. An interesting fact is the government of Bulgaria currently holds one of the largest pots for institutional investors. Bulgaria holds 213,519 Bitcoins, which were bought at a cost basis of 3.3 billion. The value of the coins at present is 10 billion, indicating the government of Bulgaria has already made 300% on its gains in BTC investment. I mean, that's just phenomenal. Congrats to Bulgaria for getting that in early. I mean, obviously it took somebody with a lot of guts and gusto to get this done, because that's a lot of money to obviously be possibly risking with people's money. But they got it done, and as long as you believe in the long-term growth of Bitcoin, I think most people will do all right, as long as you buy and hodl. It's hard to day trade it. So that's interesting news. That's bullish to me. Let's look at next one is U.S. banking giant Morgan Stanley buys over 250 million worth of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. So banking giant Morgan Stanley has made a 9-figure investment in the digital currency investment product Grayscale Bitcoin. GBTC gives institutional investors exposure to Bitcoin, as shares are based on the performance of the top crypto. Filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission show the financial titan invested in GBTC through 4 different funds. The investment bank's Insight Fund, which has 8.1 billion in assets, purchased 928,051 shares of GBTC worth 36.19 million. The Morgan Institutional Fund, with net assets worth 5.63 billion, made up the biggest investments in GBTC. It bought a total of 4,772,064 shares worth 186.11 million in 12 separate purchases. The Morgan Stanley Institutional Fund Trust Discovery Portfolio, which has net assets of 5.1 million, bought 611,868 worth 23.86 million. And the Morgan Stanley Variable Insurance Fund, which has assets worth 237 million.44, made 2 separate purchases for a total of 179,703 shares, net worth of over 7 million. The 4 funds bought a total of 6,491,686 shares of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, worth $253 million, according to the SEC documents. Morgan Stanley's round of investments was made prior to the June 30th reporting period, suggesting that the banking giant loaded up on GBTC shares while Bitcoin was trading close to the 30,000. Congrats to them. Obviously, they're going to make a pretty good buck on their investment here. So to me, with them buying this, it looks like, obviously, going through the GBTC Trust, that's an easiest way for institutions, other funds to get in on Bitcoin without having the issues of custody and how you obviously hold on to the coins and everything else like that. So this is an easier way on-ramp for them, especially since we saw a while back that GBTC, the price comparison to Bitcoin was actually, you were paying less for the GBT shares than you would be paying for Bitcoin itself. So that was a good move on them part. That's bullish to me. Next is crypto analyst who called Ethereum climb to 3,400, reiterates at 10,000 call. Despite pulling back a bit from its all-time high earlier this year, Ethereum still has a shot to hit 10,000 by the year's end, according to one analyst who has been right so far this year. I'll get rid of the commercial. Magnetic Managing Director Megan Casper, who called Ether's tripling to top 3,000 back when it was still closer to 1,000 in January, told Yahoo Finance Friday that the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap could still hit her 8,000 to 10,000 price target by 21. Investors are still using crypto as favorite tool to hedge against inflation, she said, adding that 2 new upgrades are likely to catapult the Ethereum network when completed. Those proposals will initiate the burn or elimination of the fractions of Ether that had previously been paid to miners and transactions. Towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, we will have about 1 million worth of Ethereum coming out of the supply, so that will initiate it becoming a deflationary asset, Casper said. At the same time, non-fungible tokens or NFTs transacting on the Ethereum network have been attracting a lot more attention lately. This week, the cartoon image of the rock offered through the Ether Rock NFT collection was sold for more than 1.7 million. Overall, monthly NFT sales hit a record high near 900 million during August, according to industry tracker Non-Fungible. And there's that rock. Somebody paid $1.7 million for it. I would not have paid that much. I'm afraid that NFTs are a little bit like the ICOs back in 2017. I could basically copy this right now, this image, save it to my computer, and I have a image of the rock that somebody paid 1.7 million for it. So that to me just seems a little crazy. But it is good news to see that people are calling on Ethereum to continue to rise in price. I do own Ethereum as well. I don't have a lot. I think I have like almost 2.5 coins of Ethereum right now. Slowly buying into it as I can. And finally, we have Rivian. So if anybody's interested in Rivian, Rivian has started the SEC paperwork for an IPO. So obviously I missed the train with Tesla. Tesla has done phenomenally in the past 8 years or 5 years that it's been out. So is Rivian a possibility for it? I hope so. I kind of like the way their vehicles look. The other thing is they're building these vehicles in my home state of Illinois. So I'm rooting for them to do well. I also like Tesla, obviously. Tesla, I think, has just fantastic cars. Speed is crazy, though. So here we go, the IPO. Some estimates put Rivian's potential profit for an IPO upwards at $80 billion. There's their car, that's the, what is that? I think is that the R1T? I don't know which one that is. I know it's the R1T. Rivian hasn't delivered a customer car, but it's planning an IPO. Rivian is one of the most exciting electric vehicle startups around at the moment. Its R1T and R1S truck and SUV, respectively, promise tons of tech with a heaping helping of practicality, and the company has already managed to attract a whole bunch of capital from companies like Amazon and Ford. According to an announcement Rivian made on Friday, it wants to go a step further and is planning to file an initial public offering. Initial details on the IPO are still a little scarce, since this announcement only says the company has filed its initial paperwork with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This makes it hard to say how much money the company could expect from its IPO, but some reports estimate that figures to be around $80 billion. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys are actually interested in Rivian or these kind of stocks. The IPO. Some people are saying that you shouldn't invest right away when at the IPO. You should wait a couple of days, couple of weeks for let the price discovery to happen, and then try to get in at the lower price possibly. I don't know. I just don't know. I know I want to buy some shares of Rivian when it comes out. I just don't know if I'm going to get it at the IPO or not. So let me know in the comments, are you looking forward to? Obviously the Alonzo update that's coming up for Cardano, and then as far as institutions buying, do you think we're going to continue doing that? I think we are. I think that's bullish. I think that's going to continue going up. Obviously, Ethereum's going to 8 to 10,000 would be nice. Obviously that's basically a 300% increase in price right now, so that would be a huge gain for a lot of people. And then Cardano obviously is at under $3 right now. There's no clear market direction as far as where things are going. Let me down in the comments what you guys think down below. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please consider subscribing. It does help me out a lot. It lets me know that you guys do enjoy these. Hit the thumbs up button as well. And then let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me talk about something else or whatever. Provide me with suggestions, comments. Anything is up in the air. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Have a great day.